Hi guys, it's Kyoko. So, I'm going to talk to you guys today about job hunting. Job hunting is so crucial to especially us young people. The one thing that I actually do want to warn you guys is please don't get stressed looking for a job because, well, in all actuality, it's really something that you just have to be persistent, and as well as also following the right steps in order to make sure that you do get your callbacks and whatnot. Number one is actually having a resume. A resume is very important because a resume actually shows, let's say you are in high school, it shows, let's say you are in college, it can show your high school diploma, your GED, let's say if you have that. You can show your bachelor's, master's, etc. on your resume, as well as professional experience that you had in the work field. On top of some activities or extracurricular things that you do that, let's say, employers don't really necessarily ask you about usually when you're coming to look for a job. So, resume and cover letters are very important because without that is sort of like the key to opening really your job hunt. If you don't have experience, actually, it does not matter if you don't have experience because usually you can get it through volunteering. Some jobs actually don't mind you not having experience because that is a great place to start, such as volunteering, such as internships, such as clothing retail stores in general, boutiques. These are all great things to start off, especially if you are a first timer with no job experience. For those of you who do find it hard to actually gain, let's say, get a job or even finding a job, because everyone always asks for, like, have you ever worked in a clothing store before? And you're like, no. Well, they're just like, okay, well, next, no. Start off volunteering, start off interning. It doesn't matter where you volunteer, it doesn't matter where you intern, it's experience. It means that really what it actually means is when you do these things such as volunteering and internships, you can really get a person to person interaction. You get to strengthen your communication skills, as well as feeling comfortable talking and interacting with people, because that's really how the real world is. You're going to have to talk to people, unless you're a veterinarian, or mortician. But back to you guys. Number two is dressing professional. This is so important. You have no idea how important this is. Dressing professional, meaning proper attire. If you're a lady, you would want to go with, let's say, a suit. For example, a skirt and a blazer, and let's say a blouse or a button-up underneath, let's say. Make sure your skirt do the fingertip test, make sure that if it is, well, actually shorter than when you put your hands down to your side, it's most likely a no. Make sure that when you do wear your skirt, you maintain in a professional manner. You would want to, if you're sitting in front of an employer or you're in a room, let's say sometimes the receptionists actually kind of look out for the employer to see your characteristics before you get in the room. So you also want to be friendly to whoever is in the workplace as well. So back to the attire. You want to make sure that your dress is appropriate, it's ironed. You want to make sure that you are polished and make sure you are manicured when job hunting. It doesn't matter what job you're looking for, just make sure that you look presentable. Whether it is working at a sneaker store, whether it is working at a clothing store, whether it's a surf shop, whether it's a high-end luxury retail, you want to make sure you look presentable because they want to actually see what is going to be the finished product. what is really going to be the one who's going to be selling the clothes, who's actually going to be giving the advice. They want to see people who look the part, let's say. So and for you guys, back to you women, flats or heels, low heels are very appropriate. No partying dresses, no party shoes like 6-inch heels. No, that will be a no-go. That's something that you really want to steer away from when you are looking for a job, because they want to see a clean, professional look. This really does not matter where you go. For you guys, make sure that, let's say if you have a suit or just a slacks and a button-up and a belt, let's say, and some dress shoes, you would not want to wear slacks, a button-up, and sneakers, because you want to look complete. So by looking complete actually gives the employer that feeling of he knows how to come for what he's looking for. He's serious. By showing that you're serious gives the employer that feeling of, okay, well, now we've actually got through the part of you looking the part. We want to actually know if you behave exactly what you look like. So sometimes they will really be impressed by how you look, that they really are more intrigued to kind of figure out, like, okay, well, you took pride in actually what you wear. So let me actually see how are you going to behave? What are your mannerisms? Now that is off to our next topic, mannerisms. Mannerisms are very important when you're coming for a job, meaning proper handshake. You don't want to have that limp little, nice to meet you. You want to actually, not to break someone's hand, but you actually want to make that firm, like, I am confident, I'm coming in for the job, and my name is such and such. For example, I would say your greeting, be like, hello, Mr. Johnson, my name is Kyoko Hashimoto, nice to meet you. Or my name is Kyoko, I'm here looking for the position of XYZ. So that's exactly how you would come off looking for a job. Another thing is, on top of grooming, it will be on top of dressing professional, it will be grooming standards. Meaning you would want to have clean hair, smelling good, ladies. Make sure that, let's say if it's blow dried, just blow dry it, make sure it's pressed. If it's curly, make sure it's fresh and curly. Makeup, not heavy. You do not want to have makeup that is caked on. I know that sometimes some of us girls actually feel a little comfortable when we have, a little extra makeup, but this is really something that you might have to just steer away from when it comes to looking for a job. You would want a fresh and natural look. You might not necessarily want added eyelashes. You might not want bright lipstick like fire truck red. You might not want big hoop earrings. You might want something, let's say, small, minimal. Let's say 2 rings per hand. Nails, ladies, nails. Either if it's a neutral cut, let it be neutral cut, clean cut even, polish, let's say a little gloss maybe, a little top coat of shine. For you guys, neat cut and trim. For ladies, it will really try to refrain from, let's say, the colors like, I like my little colorful nail polish sometimes, but maybe refrain from just for when you're looking for a job and whatnot, unless, like, by the time you get in, you'll be able to know their standards and what they really look for, what they accept, and from there on. But just when you're looking for a job, you won't want to refrain from colorful nail polish. You might want to look for, let's say, if you are going to do a color, make sure it is a color that is a little bit conservative. Let's say a neutral. Let's say like Essie has something called ballet slippers, like kind of like a pink, a little plush pink, or marshmallow or white is good. Something light and refreshing. Try to refrain from dark colors, black, burgundy, dark purples. Just keep it light and fresh, because it also brings out more of a lighter side. That's another thing too. Number 3 would actually be pronunciation, giving good feedback, giving a good vibe to your employer. That's so important. giving a happy, good vibe to your employer actually makes you feel and makes them feel comfortable. You know, if you see, let's say, that's another thing. If you do go in for to seek for employment, let's say, you would want to say introduce or ask for the manager, you know, and still be friendly and keep it, you know, nice as if everyone is the manager. You want to ask for the manager, introduce yourself, ask them, are they hiring, and so on. And let's say if they say yes, then you can, let's say, create a little bit of small talk and tell them about your experience. If you have no experience, tell them, look, I have no experience, however, I have XYZ qualities, and that is what I believe makes me fit for the job. You know, because some employers actually don't mind you not having experience. They just want to know, do you have that quality? Do you have that personality, or what we're really looking for? Every employer is looking for someone who is capable, who's confident, and who is actually going to make that brand even more of just better, or even more of a you know what I'm trying to say, just greater. Just couldn't find my words. Anyways, so yeah, so these are all the very important things when you do look for a job. Another question that some people have is, well, I went in for a job and I've actually been told no. So what you would actually do is you would probably want to be like, maybe you can go back. Let's say you wouldn't want to go back the day after, or you wouldn't want to like look like you can't wait for the answer. That's another thing, being patient. You would want to go in maybe, let's say, a week after. Let's say they were supposed to call you and say, okay, you'll hear from us, let's say, in 3 days. Okay, maybe you would want to wait 7 days, 8 days, and then maybe you can go in and you can also ask, you know, what are some things that I didn't do that I could have done? Or what is the reason why I didn't get the position? It is absolutely your right to ask that. There's no rule saying like you can't ask that. So that is also an important thing. How to look for a job? Well, you would go in to any store of your choice. I don't know if some people feel like, okay, they would not want to walk into a store, let's say Louis Vuitton, and they have no work experience, that they just would not walk in. In a way, yes, and in a way, no. It's all about confidence. It's all about how you carry yourself. It's all about your vibe, your energy, how you look. Some stores that you go in, you kind of want to look the part for the store. And if you're job hunting, make sure you wear a comfortable outfit that you know you can go around. Let's say if you're doing a 1 day or a 2 day job search, that day if you're going to hit different stores or hit different companies, you want to make sure that you wear an outfit that's good for all these stores. Something I could, let's say, go to Foot Locker at, and then let's say I can still hop over to Louis Vuitton, or I could still hop over to Uniqlo, you know, things like that. Lastly, how do you even start looking for a job, or even just be able to have the courage to just step foot out the door and be like, okay, I'm going to go? I have had that, or those moments before, where I'm just like, how do I even start? You know, because it's really hard, in all honesty. As a young person, you see a lot of people actually just go out just looking for a job, and you just been told no, 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 no. A lot of things what people do, they might say, okay, well, go online. You go online, you don't hear back from, let's say, 5 people. Then what you would want to do is you would probably go into the store. Let's say if that's not their policy by allowing you to come, you know, online. Maybe they have an in-store application. So that's another thing that you actually have to be wary of. Lastly, websites. Where do you go online to actually look for a job? Well, the stores that you actually are interested in is really the answer. If you are interested in H&M, go online. Usually at the bottom of the page, you'll have something called careers, and you can look through there. Almost every place, Home Depot, Target, just to name a few, actually have pages that where you can go on their homepage, scroll down, it'll say career, and you could actually find some of the applications, some of the jobs that you're actually thinking of actually getting. Some websites such as monster.com, internship.com, and indeed.com. Don't worry, I'm going to write these down for you, probably above or below. That's where you can also find jobs too. Lastly, do not be discouraged. I know what it's like to be discouraged. I mean, we've all had so many disappointments, but don't let a job really blow you out of proportion into stress, because it's very unhealthy for yourself, and it actually clouds you from getting or even having the courage to even continue pushing forward. So if you don't give up, you are strong. You will find a job. Trust me, you will. Guaranteed, you'll find a job. One quote I'm actually going to leave you with is a quote by Winston Churchill. He says, "Success is tumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm." You know exactly what this